You guys have to be the frontliner of your work. You have to come out and represent yourself and advocate for your own work. That is how you take back your own credit. During meeting that time, say something and say something productive. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Get Ready with Aunty HR. Okay, so today we are going to wear this cute little thing. Sebab kan, I baru balik kan dari tengok Jurassic Rebirth. You know, it's so funny, I follow this guy on social media. In his social media, he said, I just watched Jurassic Rebirth. I would appreciate it if everybody just died. So it will be more kanchong. But actually, I was quite entertained. Okay lah, why want everybody die? Jahat korang. Anyway, coming back here, today we're going to answer a set of 12 questions from follower who posted on my Instagram story while I do my makeup. Okay, so before that, we have to moisturize our face. So today we are going to use this Clarins moisturizer. It is super good. This one is called what? Extra Firming Collagen. It's very good, okay? I've been using this for 4 days already. It's super good. I love this one, Clarins. Okay, moisturize our face. Okay, ready to go. First question. Auntie, my staff unpaid and emergency leave almost 20 days during probation. How? What do you mean how? How means they want to fire, is it? Well, just to let you guys know, although unpaid leave is not paid, it still needs the company approval. Just because you all are not getting paid for that day, doesn't mean korang sesuka hati kan can take unpaid leave. So it doesn't matter lah whether you are on probation or not, or confirmed employee. Attendance, tardiness is always important. So before you guys decided want to fire someone, I would think as a good boss, you guys should at least have a conversation with the staff first to understand why this person is taking so many emergency leave. Is there something wrong at home? Is there anything the company can help? I understand. They are here to work. They are not supposed to bring their personal business, their personal problem to work. But however, I think as an empathetic boss, to a certain extent, it's also our responsibility to take care the welfare of the employee, especially their mental wellness. So at least go ask first and see whether we can help. But if already asked, then you can see this stuff is not improving. After counseling, everything is not improving, right? Then you just take disciplinary action according to the book. Macam tu. Okay, next. Am I able to enter into HR with no experience and background at age 32? What will you advise for those who want to try out HR? I am glad I am inspiring you all want to come to HR. Actually, a career transition at 32 is not so bad. Even at me, I transitioned my career to become HR influencer when I was 45. So okay je. Now, you guys need to understand in HR, there are also a lot of specialization. There are a lot of pillars. You have recruitment, which is talent acquisition. You have learning and development. You also have comm and band. You also have something more strategic like organization development. There are also IR, ER. So for someone who is new to HR, I would probably recommend you either start with HR administration or you start with recruitment, depending what is your background. So if your background is more admin based, which means you are very good with paperwork, right? You can always start with HR admin. That means you help the company, either you run payroll or churn out offer letter, that kind of thing. Or if you have a sales background, what you can do is go look for a job as a recruiter in a recruitment agency. So you will start off your career under talent acquisition first. So as you get better on the job, a lot of these recruiters in agency, right, eventually how they progress their career into HR, they will go to an end user environment, which means they will do recruitment for their own company. And from there, they will transfer to another department under a different specialization. So you can always try that. Now, if you're going to ask me, Auntie, will you think the company will pay me the same salary if I don't have HR background and I go become HR? Might not. I know a lot of people, when they pursue a career in HR from a different function or industry, right, they take a slight salary cut. This one might not happen. For someone to be able to maintain a salary, the person who is hiring you must know you well, or you came with high recommendation. Otherwise, it's possible you might need to suffer a salary cut. However, you need to remember this. Sometimes in order to progress in life, we need to take one step backward in order to take 2 steps forward again. You think about it. Okay, next. Hi, Auntie. My colleague who is a newbie has been mentally torturing me by keeping tabs of my mistake to the HR director and does not want to solve it internally with me. I cannot tahan her already. Okay. I have a lot of questions in return. Number one, you said this person is a newbie. Which means you are a senior compared to this person. How can a new person come in bully an old person? How does this happen? You terpijak dia punya kaki kat mana? You terpijak ekor dia or whatever. From my experience, people don't purposely come and hate you out of the blue, okay? There must be something you have done that make the person doesn't like you. So we need to understand that. Then my second question is, how is it you are a senior? The person's relationship is better than the boss and not with you leh? What is your relation with the boss? So, this is my recommendation. Whatever it is, go apologize. Really? I don't know how you guys bergaduh-gaduh kat situ lah, but obviously you terbijak dia punya kaki kan. She felt offensive or whatever. I think you would know it better. Ask the person out for lunch and apologize sincerely and hoping that you are able to start all over again. Then a lot of you will come and tell me, Auntie, I tried this already. The person don't want to go out with me. And then I always ask, you try how many times? You guys ask this person out for lunch one time, the person say no, then it's forever no, is it? You guys try to cold call this customer one time, customer say didn't pick up, then you say you cannot get the customer, is it? Depending how bad is the situation, it will take a few attempts. One attempt might not be enough. But my whole point is, you should not give up. Now, if after multiple attempts, and still tak jadi kan, then you have a choice to make. Either you can fuck off yourself, or you tell the other person to fuck off. But normally, the more peaceful way is we undurkan diri lah. You cannot find the happiness here. Don't victimize yourself. Find your happiness elsewhere. Okay, next. Will it be hard to find a new job if I quit my last job and rest for a month? Thank you. It's not hard lah. You're talking about does a career break is gonna affect the look of my resume, right? I will say no. Career break nowadays is something very, very common. Now, however, if you take a career break for too long, for me, anything more than 1 year is too long. Then when you decided to come back out to the workforce that time, people will question, you don't work for so long, are you okay to come back out to work or not? Right? People will question your adaptability. So what will help is your cover email. Because your resume, right, will have a gap from your last working experience it will like there's a gap lah, like so long they see you never work. So you need to explain yourself. The best way to explain yourself is through your cover email. You have to sound very enthusiastic. Like I have taken enough rest already. I am ready to come out to conquer the world. Macam tu lah. Tak ada masalah punya. And honestly speaking, it also depends what kind of job are you looking for. If you are looking for very hot jobs like finance lah, like customer service or sales all these jobs are always evergreen. Memang selalu kan ada open position punya. So you don't have to be afraid that you are unable to find job. However, you also need to be prepared. What if for the next 3 months I am unable to find a job? It is something also you need to be prepared financially. I have friends personally, they quit their job for 6 months, okay, they cannot find job, then they suffer. So that is something you need to analyze your own capability and decide. Okay, next. Feel unsafe to work due to too many dismissal without notice. I faham. This is when you see your colleagues are getting fired, right? And then don't know why they get fired. That's why you feel like, when is my turn? When is my next turn? I totally understand your feeling. Now, I always say this. If you have questions or you are curious about something, you should go talk to your boss about it. But if you're telling me your boss are firing people without notice and then there's too many of them, there is also a possibility the boss is the type who doesn't negotiate and has a temper issue. If that is the case, I can understand your dilemma lah. But this is for me. I spend so much of my waking hour at work. I spend my time at work much more time than I spend with my own family. So it's a sacrifice for me. At the very minimum, I need to be happy at work. I cannot wake up in the morning and I like tan like that. I feel like I'm very scared to go to work. Then sudah tak bermakna. What I will do, I will actually update my resume and focus my energy in looking for a place to work where I feel safe. You think about it. Okay, next. 199 hours per month for retail industry. Is that the new regulation by government? I don't know which government you work for. Malaysia government don't have this kind of regulation. Malaysian government says you work maximum 45 hours per week. So depending... where's my calculator? So depending how many, let's say a 5-week month, 45 times 5. 225. If 45 times 4, 180. So depending is a 5-week month or a 4-week month. It's between 180 to 225 per hours. Is that how you get it? 180 plus 225 divided by 2. That's why you get 199, is it? Anyway, what the law says that is maximum 45 hours per week, and it doesn't matter what kind of industry. Can be retail, construction, media, services, whatever, period. Okay, next. How long does it take for HR to finalize the day of notice? It's been a month, no news. Maybe your HR forgotten leh. Why it take it so long to finalize a notice? Now, a lot of people also ask me, Auntie, is it necessary for HR to give us an acceptance of resignation letter? Then the answer is no. That document is not mandated by law. However, it's good HR practice. When you guys tender resignation, the company doesn't need to give you a letter to say when is your last day. However, you agak-agak will know yourself by calculating your own things. The one that always make people not sure about, right, is your annual leave balance. Number one, you might not know what is your annual leave balance because you sendiri also don't track. Number 2, you do not know whether the boss is okay for you to offset your last working day with the annual leave balance. So that is something you need to finalize with your boss. Now, your annual leave, why don't I teach you guys to be more proactive rather than be reactive? This is how you calculate your last day. We do an example. Let's say your notice period is 2 months and you tender on 11th of July. So 2 months mean your first month is from 11th July to 10th August. Second month will be on 10th September. Not 11th September. If you do 11th September, it means you work 2 months plus 1 day. Okay? So 11th July, you tender your notice period. Your last day in payroll should be 10th September. Okay, now how do we calculate by offsetting your last working day? Then we have to look at your annual leave balance. How you look at your annual leave balance? You take your entitlement of the year. You must know your entitlement of the year. Now, according to the Employment Act, you need to complete the month first to earn the annual leave. Now, let's say you tender on today, right? 11 July, for example. So you did not complete the month of July. So when you don't complete the month of July, we can ignore the month of July. So your leave will be counted up to June only. So 6 divided by 12 months per year times your entitlement. So let's say your entitlement is 12 days per annum. So you'll be 6 divided by 12 times 12, which is equal to 6 days. Now, in some company, they also allow carry forward leave. If that is the case, you have to add in your carry forward leave or your replacement leave or whatever leave that you have, you add into your entitlement. Then you minus off the number of days you have taken for the year already. Then that will be your annual leave balance. Now, how do we treat the annual leave balance? It depends on the company, depends on your boss, not really your company. If you plan to offset it on your last working day, technically what it means, right? On your last working days, you are on annual leave. So you have to see or in between you take your annual leave, you also can. But when people say last working day, last day in payroll, what it means that the last days they are taking annual leave. So you yourself also can agak yourself. Then what you can do, be more proactive. You calculate all this, then you go to your boss and get a mutual agreement on what is your last working day, and you formalize it via email. Like that. Okay? Next. If my boss everyday PUA at office, how to handle him and my mental health? Wow, this PUA thing I just learned. It's called pick up artist. How to unpua your boss. All you Gen Z outside there jahat, okay, go and come up with all this nickname. So what is a pickup artist boss? It's not someone who want to come and date you or whatever. So technically what it means that a boss that uses to guilt the employee. Like for example, they will gaslight you like that. They will say things like, wow, I treat you so nice. Is this how you treat me back? We are one family. Those kind of thing. They make you feel guilty, you know. You gonna leave me now? You ungrateful. That kind of thing. So what was the question again? If my boss PUA at the office every day, how do I handle him? Okay. Now, you have to be very clear with your position in the company. Be very clear with your deliverables. Don't mix your feeling with it. Boss not PUA you or not, you don't get emotionally involved. You document your work properly, your results properly. Then it's okay. You need to understand this. It is okay to say no to bosses. I understand sometimes boss want to call in a favor, then dia nak tambah you dia punya kerja, then he say help lah. I think help 1-2 times is okay, but help 7-8 times, then boss have to do something to compensate lah. Cannot keep on taking advantage of us. So it's okay to say no, be brave about it. Then if last betul tak boleh tahan kan, leaving the boss is always a choice. Okay, next. Auntie, can you resign during maternity leave? They need to pay also, right? Yes. You can resign anytime. During maternity leave also can. However, I just want to tell you all, be a responsible citizen. Whether how jahat is your boss is, you jangan membabi bersama. Make sure you do your handover properly. That is my advice. Okay, next. How to handle manipulative and pencuri credit manager. Oh, this is the kind of manager, right, who like to take your credit kan? Suruh dia buat kerja that time kan, dia hilang kan. Tapi bila tanya siapa kerja ini, tiba-tiba dia jadi hero pula. Saya yang buat kerja ni. To take back your own credit, I will give you this one advice that I learned myself. Learn to do a presentation properly. Whatever work that you do, make sure your name is visible in it. Like for example, if you prepare a report, make sure you written there. Prepared by Aunty HR. Approved by Aunty HR. Vetted by Aunty HR. Typed by Aunty HR. Make sure you guys document it properly and your name is there. And then if there is a project that you guys do, learn how to present your project. Because a lot of times you guys are behind the scene. You prepare everything, then you get somebody else to come in front to present. Nobody will know that is your job behind. You guys have to be the frontliner of your work. You have to come out and represent yourself and advocate for your own work. That is how you take back your own credit. During meeting that time, say something and say something productive. I have an opinion. Can I share? Macam tu. Okay, next. Hi, Auntie. My ex-company did not pay my EPF since last year. What can I do? Oh, shit. Since last year. Well, only now you come and ask me. This is what I will recommend you to do. You should go talk to your boss about it and understand why they are not paying your EPF. If your boss decided to ignore you, then you should tell your boss this. Boss, since I already bring up this issue and it seems like you're not taking this seriously, I am going to lodge a report with EPF. Because you leave me no choice. You are not taking it seriously. Then you go lodge a report with EPF. Meanwhile, to be more practical, you should go look for another company who is compliant. Gitu. Okay, next. My offer says I can't work with competitors for 2 years after leaving. I sign it. So is it valid? Ding, ding, ding. It's not valid. This is not under the Employment Act. This is under Contracts Law 1950. In Section 28, it says that you cannot stop someone to go for another job, even if it's a competitor. It's written in Section 28, Contracts Law 1950. With the exception, if you are the owner of the business and you sell the business and then they sign a non-competition term. But however, normally we are not owner of the business. We are just a 打工仔. We are just a pekerja saja. So if you are a normal pekerja with no share in the company, even if you have signed the clause to agree that you don't join the competitor for 2 years, that clause doesn't hold any water. However, I will tell you how you can get into trouble. PDPA. when you guys take company information out from the system, that is a breach of code of conduct. That is the one will get you in the trouble. You go to competitor, the company cannot do any shit for you. But if you take the information out and bring it to competitor to make the competitor kaya, that is when you will get into trouble. Okay, next. Okay, sudah siap dah. So this is the last one. Okay, setting spray. Ta-da! Thank you all for joining me today. It has been a pleasure answering your question. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye!